Hi, I'm Trevor Dimoff. I'm a songwriter and a songwriting coach. When you're writing popular songs of any genre, you create and manipulate patterns in the lyrics, the melody, chord progressions, the arrangement, and the production. Consciously controlling the patterns that you create will engage your audience and instantly level up your songwriting. If you learn from this video, subscribe and ring the little bell so that you know when I post more videos. This is a sample lesson from my online songwriting course, The Ultimate Songwriting Jumpstart. There's a link below in the description where you can read a transcript of this video and learn more about the songwriting course. If you learned something, leave a comment. Here's the lesson. Thanks for watching. Patterns and audience expectations. Have you ever listened to a song and heard what was coming next? It might have been the next rhyming word, or that you knew that the chorus was coming in a few bars. Everyone does this. As you listen to music, you try to figure out what's happening and what will happen next. When music's too predictable, it becomes boring. For most people, it's no fun to know what's coming next every time. You also need an element of surprise. But when you can't predict what will happen next at all, that is, if there's too much surprise, people tune out and get turned off. Music becomes noise. As a songwriter, you want to be predictable, but not too predictable. You need a balance between predictability and surprise. You create predictability by using patterns. Surprise is how you change or break the patterns you use. I think about this in several ways. The ebb and flow of musical energy is tension and release. Patterns can be stable or unstable. They can be closed or open. First, tension and release. Tension is felt as you build musical energy towards a goal where it's released. For example, there's tension and release in lyrics. When you start to predict where the story's headed, the tension is released as you find out what happened. As you listen to a lyric, the rests at the end of a line or section provide a release as you have a moment to process what you've heard and to create internal images from the lyrics. Melodies have tension and release as they rise and fall, and also as they fit into or clash with the underlying chord progression. We'll come back to this again when we get to memorable melodies. There's also tension in a chord progression as it moves towards the release of the tonic chord. We'll get deeper into that when we're writing killer chord progressions. For now, observe and become aware of the changes in tension as you listen to your reference tracks. I also think about patterns as stable or unstable. Stable or closed patterns sound finished and can stand on their own. Unstable patterns are open. They sound unfinished. You're left expecting something else, expecting them to be completed. Some examples of stable and unstable patterns include lyric rhythms, lyric rhymes, and chord progressions. For example, several lines of lyric rhythms that are extremely similar sound stable. But if the rhythms are different, it can feel unstable or uncertain. Perfect rhymes feel stable, and mere rhymes are unstable. You can subconsciously convey tension or uncertainty to your audience by intentionally using unstable lyric rhythms or open rhymes in your lyrics. We'll come back to this again later in this module. Chord progressions also can create stable or unstable effects. When you get to the end of a song section, you can use a stable cadence to give a solid ending. If you want to create uncertainty to match your lyrics, or to push into the next section, like a pre-chorus into the chorus, you can leave your listener hanging with an unstable or open ending to the chord progression. As you're writing, consider how you can use patterns and audience expectations to tell the story, to emphasize important points in the lyrics, and how you can engage your audience. It gets really interesting when you deliberately use contrasting or contradictory patterns. A simple example would be a happy lyric set in a minor key, like I did with Need Your Love. A more sophisticated example might be a supposedly happy love song with verses about how great things are, using unstable lyric rhythms, unstable rhyme pairs, and open-sounding chord cadences. You can subliminally create tension that's released when the chorus tells the audience that this happy love is actually doomed for failure. While you're listening to music and writing your own songs, listen for patterns and for changes in those patterns. Think about how the songwriting takes advantage of your expectations to keep you interested by balancing predictability with surprise, by playing with tension and release, by using patterns that are stable and unstable, or open and closed. Deliberately controlling the interplay of these factors can lift your song to the next level. In the next lesson, we'll examine how you create deeper meaning in your lyrics.